Extensive research shows that commuting by active modes of transportation is the most satisfying. So what dictates people's tendencies to drive if walking will make them the happiest? People are like test tubes. Each person has different priorities and characteristics that encourage or constrain active transport. Among these priorities and characteristics are health, the needs of their family, income, social status, or a desire for independence. Depending on your stage in the life cycle, these needs and priorities will vary. Teens, young professionals, middle-aged adults, and seniors will all have different characteristics that influence their transportation tendencies. Take Sarah, for instance, age 15. She lives at home with her parents but wants independence and doesn't want to rely on them for rides. Her suburban neighborhood is disconnected from the larger municipal transit system, meaning that her only options for independent travel are to ride her bike or walk. 10 years later, Sarah is 25 and living on her own in the city. Because of her habits as a child, she still prefers active transit. Living near most of her amenities and lacking the disposable income for a car, she, like her teen self, is a captive user, forced to use transit due to a lack of other options. Biking and walking are also physically exertive and offer those in the young professional demographic a healthy outlet for physical activity. 20 years later, Sarah has established a family. At 45, she is a mother of 2, has relocated to the suburbs, and is responsible for taking her kids to and from school and activities. Like her peers, Sarah now prioritizes her family and has purchased a car because biking, walking, and transit don't offer enough control in terms of efficiency, accessibility, or convenience and are no longer close by. Now, at 75, Sarah's kids have grown up and moved away. They are stakeholders in her transit decisions no more. Her physical abilities are limited. She can no longer drive and she can't walk very far on her own. Public transit is the best alternative for her commutes to the store or to visit friends. With senior discounts, it is a cheap and relatively accessible mode of transportation, regardless of physical limitations. When it comes to Montreal, active transit has room for improvement. While the downtown core is well adapted to active transit, the suburban periphery straggles far behind. General policy recommendations for the entire city should focus on people rather than the built environment. The most important policy goal should be to make active transit the first choice for young people. This will form lifelong habits, as we saw with Sarah's transition from childhood to adulthood. It is key to convince parents that walking and biking are safe and desirable choices, particularly for the trip to school. Walking school buses, education programs, and neighborhood watch are all good ways to increase feelings of safety. On the other end of the age scale is encouraging active transit for the elderly. Increasing movement for aging people is a good health policy as well. Active movement should be encouraged, not feared. Providing education of the benefits of movement is key, and we hope that next time you're faced with a choice, you choose active transportation.